Hello and welcome to the Drummergy Podcast. It is episode 158 and it is December 23rd. It's almost Christmas.
Oh.
And today's topic is going to be how to tell your wife you need more gear. And we'll get to that here momentarily. Good morning, producer.
Hi, you're popping quite a bit.
Oh my gosh. You know what? You should just get a different host. That would probably fix everything.
Maybe new microphones.
Well,
Ooh.
On the topic of how do you tell your wife you need more gear? Make popping noises and sibilancy sounds into your microphone.
Oh.
That's how that works.
That's a good strategy.
I think sometimes I'm just a boisterous speaker, and I get a lot of air moving from my lungs.
I don't know.
That's what happens. That's what's happening.
Or maybe you need a pop filter.
I don't know. But today, well, it's the 23rd, so 2 days until Christmas. Are you done Christmas shopping?
I have to get one present.
You have to get one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
I haven't gotten anything for my stepdad yet.
Yeah.
Are you done Christmas shopping?
I believe I am.
Oh, okay.
I believe that I am done Christmas shopping. I do have to wrap presents today, so that's what I'll be doing that. And producer, I was able to rearrange a bunch of students, so I'm going to start teaching at 11 o'clock this morning, and I should be done by 5:30 this afternoon, instead of being done at 9 o'clock tonight.
That will be lovely.
Because, Greg, I have an endorsement now with Audix microphones, so I'm going to get some kind of Audix podcast mic.
I just want to make sure we can be heard because I'm not hearing you at all.
Plug your headphones in better on your crappy cable.
I mean, without these headphones, like,
what?
Can the audience hear us?
I'm pretty sure that they can. Greg Goodell's here, and he's telling us that we need an SM7, but I just told him that we have I've got an Audix endorsement, and so I'll be getting probably some version of that.
Greg, can you hear us?
I can hear us.
I mean, well, I can hear us, but it's weird because I'm not hearing anything coming out of my speakers.
Well, that's because when I went in there earlier today to listen to your speakers, you have some button pushed on your big knob thing in there that
no, I don't.
Yes, he says he can hear you.
Okay, all right,
so there you go. Problems on your end.
Well, that's weird because the speakers are on and they've got the volume up and I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, but I think one of your little selector things are probably not selected.
It looks
you're one button away, Mary.
Dude, it looks fine.
Okay, well, that's for you to sort out. As long as you
can hear us.
I even moved my mic up. I think that was probably a bad idea because you can get all my saliva sounds. All right.
Ew.
So we have this habit now of getting online and then talking about our technical difficulties.
It's fun. Yeah.
And my inability to speak. There we go.
And read.
And genuinely being able to do anything correctly because the producer is here. You ought to see my life when it's not on public display.
Wow. Same.
Which goes pretty hand in hand with today's topic of how do you tell your wife you need more gear. But today is Festivus Day for all you Seinfeld fans out there. Do you remember the episode about Festivus?
No.
Yeah, it was like a made-up holiday.
Oh.
Because they didn't want to celebrate Christmas.
Festivus.
They said it was Festivus for the rest of us. So there you go.
That's funny.
Yeah. And also today is National Christmas Movie Marathon Day.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Nope. Not doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
We need to watch Elf. We need to watch Home Alone.
No.
Yeah.
Home Alone's not my favorite. I like Elf. I like The Christmas Story. And we've already watched Christmas Vacation. We've already watched The Preacher's Wife.
I watched Christmas Story already. I watched Miracle on 34th Street.
You watched Christmas Story already?
Yeah, with Jude.
Oh.
Yep. And
I watched A Christmas Carol.
Watched Christmas with the Cranks.
Yes, we watched that.
What else is there?
We have not watched Fred Claus yet, and I love Fred Claus.
Oh, Fred Claus is great. We have not watched Die Hard either.
Yeah, but come on.
No, you come on. We haven't watched Die Hard yet.
That's too many movies in too few days.
Well, today's the day to do it. Today's the day. Today's National Christmas Movie Marathon Day.
I got stuff to do today. You're teaching.
Yeah, it'll be done early.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's not enough time.
All right. Well, enough of our silly holidays. There wasn't much today. There wasn't much to talk about. But let's get into today's subject. This subject was suggested to us by Jeff Poole, who I lovingly refer to as Jeff Pooley. Because he's got an E at the end of Pool. I'm sure he's never heard that before. Yeah. So Jeff is the drummer for Casio Dreams, which is the band that Mary sings in, and they had their Christmas party. Merry Christmas, James Harrison. Casio Dreams had their annual Christmas party, and as things were wrapping up, I was sitting on the couch talking to Jeff, and he had a couple cymbals he was had left to sell that I was really debating on buying them. I reached for my wallet a couple of times. And Jeff was buying cymbals, and he was like, I'm trying to decide if I want this ride cymbal, which I don't remember what it was, some Zildjian ride cymbal, and this other 21-inch Zildjian K Sweet Ride. And I said, well, why don't you just buy both? Just kind of offhandedly, goofingly, said that. And
how many ride cymbals does one need on one kit?
I don't know the answer to that, but the answer to how many ride cymbals does one need? Not enough.
Uh-huh.
And so Jeff had sent me a text message picture that he got. He said, on your sound advice, he decided to get both cymbals. And I said, sweet. I mean, neat, because it was a sweet ride. See, little play on little ding right there. And then he said, probably no to the second pair of hi-hats. And with that emoji, like that debating face emoji, right?
Again, how many hi-hats does one kit need?
Not enough.
You only play one.
I don't think it's unusual these days for a drummer to have two sets of hi-hats on their drum set.
For real?
Yeah.
Give me an example. Who's doing that?
Everybody but Fred Fisher.
No.
I don't know if it's out
James would know. James, how many drummers are
you
going
can't
around?
Ask James this question.
I can't ask James this question.
James has enough inventory to open 17 drum stores.
James would know who's playing with two hi-hats, two sets of hi-hats. So James, who's out there doing that?
And
who's out there with two rides? I just want to know.
Oh, well,
I guess I could ask Chat GPT.
Well, go ahead.
James is a chat.
You can ask Chat, but James will know.
Yeah.
James is a well of knowledge.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what
Chat. But so at any rate, I told Jeff, because he was like, no to the second pair of hi-hats. And I said, Jeff, one can't have too many cymbals. And then he responded, that's what your next show should be, was on how to tell your wife you need more gear. So I laughed, of course, because I thought that was funny. And so then I told Mary about this conversation, and we went back and forth with a bunch of different thoughts on this. And I said, how to tell your wife you need more gear and other marriage dissolving conversations. Yeah. Right?
Sure. By the way, I asked Chat GPT how many drummers play with two sets of hi-hats or two ride cymbals, and it broke the chat. It can't come up with an answer.
Well,
so there you go.
I don't know. There's people that do it. Seal is here. Pots and pans, a metal water bottle, a bottom of a chair, bottom of an air cleaner, and more all make music.
Yeah.
Yeah. My out of balance washing machine can make music.
Okay, we don't have that.
No,
do we?
we don't. Which brought this memory back when I lived in my single days with my roommates. We had a basement with the washer and dryer in it, and the washing machine. You put your clothes in it, and you come back later, and it's moved 5 feet away from the wall where the water hoses are stretched really tight.
Oh my gosh!
It's just walked its way across the room.
Wow!
And you just shove it back and do the next load of laundry. See, James says, I used to play with 2 sets of hi-hats at Hannah's. One set was closed all the time on my right side. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Why would you?
Well, I think Tommy Aldridge.
On the right.
Because you could have it right next to the ride cymbal.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that, but a lot of double bass players would have 2 sets of hi-hats, one that would operate normal, and then another set.
But are you going to hit both hi-hats at the same time?
Why not? I mean, I guess it depends.
How are you hitting?
What I'm saying is one might be set up to be closed all the time, and one might set up to be operating. Now,
but why couldn't you just have them both on the left then, and one's closed? I'll look at
bro.
Dude, you're okay.
I can't tell you why everybody does something.
I'm just asking.
I know you are.
I'm asking for the chat, yo.
See, James just said lots of double bass drummers use too. Good morning, Thomas.
Double bass drummers.
Mm-hmm. Now, I believe that Rick Allen from Def Leppard has 3 sets of hi-hats. I think he has one that operates with a remote pedal, and then one that's closed all the time, and one that's partially open and sloshy all the time.
But he's missing an arm, so that kind of makes it...
Well, you're asking reasons why. He has 3 sets.
Okay.
There you go. You can't have too many pairs of hi-hats, Mary Fisher. I don't know. I don't. Thomas, I'm making sure my wife listens to this show. Good morning, Gary Tackett. Hey, for those out there in the world of music who may be watching this live or later, our good friend here, Gary Tackett, is now teaching guitar lessons.
Ooh.
Yeah, I talked to him for a few minutes yesterday about that, and I was really excited because, A, Gary's a super cool guy. B, Gary's a very accomplished guitar player and has this nice body of work and this cool resume. And who wouldn't want to take guitar lessons from somebody that has all that going for him?
Yeah. Gary, are you do you have people coming to your house or where?
Yeah, to his house.
Oh, okay.
He's got like a space set up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I took guitar lessons a long time ago from Mike Seals, and that was when Elliot was a baby. And then, of course, if he was a baby, that means Christian was only 3. But every time I tried to practice, they would climb all over me, and I couldn't practice. And I just got frustrated, and I quit taking lessons.
Yeah, but your kids loved it. Our kids loved it.
I could never practice so I could get better. It was frustrating. I was trying to learn how to play electric guitar.
Yeah.
I couldn't have 30 minutes to myself. It was really sad.
Good morning, Jim. James says the real reason is because it gives one different sound options.
All right.
Yeah. See? There you go.
So you say you keep one closed, but are they different sizes?
It could be.
I'm asking Mr. Harrison.
Oh, you don't want to talk to me anymore.
No, because you've got an agenda.
I will say, though, as appealing as it might be to have a second set of hi-hats, in my mind, I think, like, I might do that for something in the studio possibly. But if Midline were way more active, rather than playing just a handful of shows a year, if we're lucky to do that, most of the stuff I play, doing gigs, I just need the basic setup.
Yeah.
That look on your face. That look on her face. Oh man. That's the look that takes the wind out of your sails.
I was smiling though.
You were, but it wasn't the I love you smile. It was the see I told you so smile. Yeah. Gary says, thanks for the shout out. I appreciate the advice and your words of teaching wisdom. Yeah, man. Well, that was passed on to me by people like James Harrison. So there you go. There you go.
Different thicknesses. Gotcha.
Yeah. There's all kinds of, somebody like James. James is way more nerdy about drum gear than I am. I'm like, my stuff is pretty general, I think. I use pretty common sized drums. I'm not too out of the way of weird setups and but there's drummers that have all kinds of different things on their kit. I remember there was a guy that filled in for me once when I played in this bar band for a while, and he was going to fill in for me, and he brought his drum kit to play all these like classic rock songs, and he brought his bass drum with the double kick pedal.
Wow.
And like 3 rack toms and 2 floor toms and about 12 cymbals, and then like a pedal that worked a cowbell, and I don't know, all these odds and ends things just to be able to go do ba, do ba, for the next 4 hours. I'm like, okay.
You can always tell the drummer who doesn't drum out much because they just bring too much crap. Like then like the 5th gig, yeah, I don't need this one or this one or this one.
Well, I mean,
you've even done that
with Cliff Miller. There's so many
times.
things. There's Jared Anthony is watching from the Denver airport. He's traveling.
Denver airport's nice. It's huge.
I don't know if I've been in the new one.
What?
I think I have. I don't remember.
Huh.
Seal says, you said wrong thing, Fred. I'm not sure what I said that was wrong, but Mary probably knows.
Merry Christmas,
James says his lifelong argument has always been about snare drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Those are easy to collect.
They are, but I can also see that, right? Because like different snares have different tones and all that. So
I think the snare drum, and I think my drummer friends would agree, like the snare drum has such a central role in how the song sounds.
Yeah.
And so for us having a recording studio and me tracking drums for people, I probably have 6 or 7 different options for snare drums at the moment, which I think is enough.
You have that many?
Until
you can't count the 2 small kits.
No, I'm not. Let's see. I've got
the Morgan Rose.
I've got the Morgan Rose Pearl snare. I've got the Master Sounds Pearl snare. I've got the Ludwig Superphonic. I've got. Where'd she go?
Oh, you've got.
She's checking.
Yeah, you've got 5 sitting up. You've got 5 just sitting up on the shelf.
Does that count the one that's in the case?
Well, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not a hard case. Are you talking about a hard case?
No.
No. Yeah, there's 5 up there.
So there's those 5. There's one on the shelf, my DW one, that's 6.
And then the one on your kit over
And then I've got 7. That little piccolo. Oh yeah, I got the one on the kit now. Yeah, that's 7. And then I've got another like piccolo tom that's on the shelf, 8.
Piccolo tom?
Or a snare, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you had so many.
I didn't either until we started counting them.
Uh-oh.
See, James says, never tell your lady how many snares you actually have. Okay, now on that specific thing or scenario is I had a guitar player friend who would buy new guitars frequently, but if he knew he was going to buy a guitar, he would take the case, the empty case from the house. So it looked like he was just leaving the house with the guitar. And then when he would come back home, he would just walk in the house with that same case, right? And so the missus was none the wiser.
How do you hide them all?
I don't know. Thomas, I do have a brass snare. Yep, I have a Tama brass snare, and it sounds awesome. Yeah. Yep.
Are you talking about McCrosty?
Nope. Who's on?
Oh my gosh.
So there you go.
Okay.
See, Greg says the studio's an excellent excuse to buy all varieties of crazy things.
This is true.
And see, Gary says, been there, done that.
Yeah, because I've got a set of congas, and I've got a set of bongos.
Yep.
And I've got what other weird things have I bought?
I have a sea of cowbells. I think last time I counted cowbells, I had 16 of them.
Wow.
And I don't even
16?
like cowbells. Yeah.
Where are they?
They're just there's some on the shelf over there. There's some on they're just everywhere.
We need a percussion bin.
Right?
But I've got a variety of shakers. I even recently bought a set of claves. If I remember, isn't that what I bought?
I don't know. What have you bought that you didn't talk to your spouse about?
No, you were with me.
Oh, I was.
I've got a couple tambourines.
Dan Costello's here. He says 16 cowbells. That's a good start.
You could line them all up. Are they all different pitches? So you could play songs like Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Well, I don't know about that. Some of them are kind of novelty. Well, I guess you could play them, but are
you counting the one your mom gave you? That,
of course I am.
Okay. I mean, that's not really one you would play, is it?
No. So, sneaking up on 2 years since my mom passed away, but for Christmas, like the year or two before that, my mom bought a cowbell on it. It's an LP, and it's painted white, and it says "Need more cowbell," and that hangs on the wall next to the studio door. So that's something that I just thought was kind of a cool gift, and I never really intended to play it.
Yeah.
All right, these messages are coming in fast.
Whoa.
Oh, so
Rototoms. Oh, yeah. Fred had Rototoms.
Yep.
And decided he needed some cash for whatever, and so he put them up for sale.
It was when we were buying all the studio stuff.
Oh, was it? And well, that was at the very beginning then.
Yeah.
And to somebody in like a mariachi band or
somebody from Nampa.
Gosh, I wonder if it was somebody in Anthony's band.
I don't know, but
Wouldn't that be funny?
I had these Remo Rototoms, 6, 8, and 10. No, yeah, 6, 8, 10 inch. I think
like the normal size, right? Like the common.
Yeah, I know for sure the smaller one was 6, but I don't know if it went like 6, 8. I think it was 6, 8, 10. But at any rate, I bought them. I mowed lawns like crazy one summer to be able to afford to buy those with my own money. It was an easy way to expand my drum kit to make it bigger. And so I bought those, and then I only used the 6-inch Rototom for a long time to have like this really high-pitched, obnoxious tom that I used with midline. And when I got my DW kit, I replaced it with what they call a piccolo tom, and it's an 8-inch one, and it's kind of mounted like right under my hi-hat. So, but anyway, I didn't use those Rototoms for 30 years.
Well, I don't know, but they sat on the plant shelf in our bedroom forever.
Yeah. So anyway, I cleaned them up and I sold them, and then they suddenly became popular again. And it was one of those things like,
that's why he wanted them, because they were popular again.
Yeah. Now they're really expensive to try to buy them again.
Dang it.
Yeah.
But would you play them if you had them?
Probably not. I would just have them. See, how do you tell your wife you need more gear? Jim says, I hope when I die, my wife doesn't sell my gear for what I told her I paid for it.
Yeah. I've seen that meme. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Thomas says he wants a snare that will pop so loud it will knock people's toupees off their head.
Ooh.
And Gary kept a guitar in his trunk for 6 months.
A new one, Gary? Like you were waiting for 6 months to bring it in?
That's, you just gotta keep that thing under wraps. And maybe I'm just guessing here, but maybe Gary had that in his trunk because he was playing all the time.
Wow, I'd be afraid to leave a nice guitar in my trunk for that long.
I don't know. James says the older I get, the smaller my setups get. Yeah, so I started mentioning that, like a lot of gigs I play with Cliff, I play kick, snare, hat. That's pretty common for me to do because some of the places we play are small, and I'm getting less motivated on moving all that stuff, right? But those songs aren't demanding as far as needing a lot of cymbals or toms either. It's nice to have. So I started bringing a floor tom with me and attaching a splash cymbal to the hi-hat stand. But so there you go.
I do like a good splash cymbal.
Yeah. Dan says, yeah, but what else was in there at that time, Gary? Come on, give us the real story.
Yeah,
the usual duct tape, plastic bags, and a shovel.
The normal stuff you need to bury your guitar in case your wife finds out.
Or bury the wife.
Oh!
In case the guitar finds out.
Oh! There's always some weird love triangle, right?
It is. Drums are going to win every time.
It was convenient to have it in the trunk in Nashville just in case. Oh, That makes sense. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so you have to have your on-the-go guitar, just like I have my on-the-go drums.
Yeah, you've just got a set of drums sitting in your truck waiting for you.
They just stay. They're on the shelf ready to roll.
Yeah. Along with a cowbell.
Yeah. So
always a cowbell, yes.
I think anybody that knows me or knows us, Mary has supported my whole music adventure from the get-go. I think really even before we actually were dating, you were interested in what I was doing, and
yeah, that's true,
and all of those kind of things. And then when we became a couple, I mean, you've been along for this ride for a long, long, long time. And I think having a supportive spouse is a really important component. And many of us here that are watching, seems like you guys probably have that, but not everybody does. I had a student that took lessons for a little while, probably, well, let's see, what's Dan say? Neither Fred nor Mary seem to recognize that we're still talking about cowbells. Well, we're still talking about cowbells, right? Of course, you can't have or talk about too many cowbells.
Yeah.
I bet if you would be so kind, if you just open my cabinet right there, there's probably like 6 or 7 cowbells sitting right there.
Do you want me to bring in the cowbells?
Yeah, we could talk about cowbells. Okay. Let's fulfill Dan Costello's Santa Claus wish.
Okay. I'm gonna bring. You know what? And I've got one from Kinder Music. I'm gonna bring that one in too.
See, and these are just the ones I know where they're located, or I think I know where they're located. There are quite a few. There's one by the sink by the back door. There's 2 over there actually. That's how this is working. Okay.
Here's the little cutie from Kinder Music.
Oh, the Kinder Music cowbell. Let's see. I was trying not to whack it too loud for the microphone here.
Here's the one that came off the SD.
There's that one. Dan says, I heard the bells on Christmas Day. All right, so there's that one. This one I got when I was in high school. Look at this little guy. I used to have him mounted.
That came out from the 4-H kids, right?
Nope. No, I had there was a time when I had the chimes, which I absolutely hate chimes. The chimes I've given them away. That's how much I hate them. But at any rate, I did have a set for a while, and this was mounted to the top. Food's ready. So there's that one. There's one by the back door. That's next to the sink. Here is a. Let's see. I don't see a. Oh yes, I do. LP. Here we go. This is your. I don't know any other rhythm for the cowbell.
This is like the one that I play.
Here's a slightly larger one. Also an LP. Whoa, wow. That sounds weird. Is it broken? It feels really
weird.
Anyway, there's that one. See? There's 4. Here's 5. Now this one I had on tour when I toured with a band from Florida. And look how destroyed that sucker is. See, Dale Walker's here. He said, "Good morning. It's definitely easier when your spouse is a musician too." Yeah, I 100% agree. 100%. Greg says the Fred Fisher sample pack, just a kit comprised of different cowbells. Yeah. Here's a Ridge Rider.
Does Corey sneak in a guitar in an empty guitar case too?
You know what's funny is that since Dale and Corey both play guitar, is that what if they both leave a guitar at home and take an empty case and they both wind up at 12th fret music at the same time?
Uh-oh. I can see
Trouble in Paradise.
I can see Ridgeway see one walk in and then see the other one walk in and go, "Oh, hurry, hide Corey."
Dale's hiding behind all the 810 bass cabinets. Don't see me. Now, I James Harrison, I believe you have the same cowbell, but you have it mounted up upside down because you don't like hitting the plastic side or something like that.
That's the same one that Jeff has that I use for Casio Dreams.
There's that.
I like the tone of that one.
See, that's 6 of them right there. There's one that's hanging on the wall. I'm not asking you to get that one down.
Is that the one from your mom?
Yeah. Okay. I might have one in the bottom drawer of my dresser.
What?
I think there's one in my nightstand.
What?
I'm pretty sure there's one on the shelf next to the vibra slap and a tambourine. I have more stuff than I realize, I guess.
Where's the vibra slap?
Since it's Christmas, This is not a cowbell, but there we go. This show is not going the direction I thought it was.
Because your wife bought a bunch of percussion crap.
Now, what's up with these?
Oh, gosh. Are you...
Maybe I don't know how to play them.
Oh, my gosh. I haven't... Oh!
I did that on purpose. Oh. I think you're supposed to...
Yes.
I'm used to a higher pitched sounding one.
James just had a heart attack watching you.
James is like trying not to crash his car into the wall now.
I learned how to play those like in 5th grade.
Now Thomas says, should every drummer have a cowbell?
Yes.
Yes, I suppose that they should. See, now Thomas just recently bought a drum kit with cymbals and everything. And I believe he also has an electric kit. And now he gets to tell his wife that he needs more gear by getting a cowbell.
Yep.
James says, my Hannah setup was fairly large and stayed there. Definitely wouldn't want to set that up daily. Had a jazz kit, big band kit, and another big kit in case of double booked days. So he had spare drums to be ready to go.
Well, Fred has 2 complete drum sets that he gigs with.
Yep.
So you've got the one, I call it the big kit, the one that stays in the studio because you teach on it, but that's the one you use with Midline.
Yes.
And then you've got your full kit that you play with Cliff.
Yeah.
And then that way you don't have to tear down your set in your studio all the time.
Yeah.
And of course you have the 2 smaller kits, but those are for teaching on.
Yes.
So
I've got the blue DW kit that I use with Midline, which has more stuff, and I use it all when I play those songs. And then it is a little bit of a pain to move, and it usually makes sound guys a little grumpy because they call me Mr. Six Toms when I walk in with it.
Mr. Six Toms.
Yeah, but when it stays just here in the studio, it's mic'd up and ready to go. But I have another DW kit, the red one, that maybe some people have seen, that I use that with Cliff. I've been playing with Gary Tackett doing the Eric Clapton tribute thing, so I use that same drum kit for that. And maybe any other miscellaneous gigs that I might do, I would use that drum kit for that. So let's see. Greg says no spoons.
Oh. I remember being in grade school, and I don't know if it was an assembly or what it was, but some guy shows up and we're all watching him and he's playing the spoons. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I was going to learn how to play the spoons and I could never do it. And and some kids could do it. Like they'd get them and and I'm like, what? Yeah. How are you doing that? Like I couldn't do it. It was very frustrating. And so, yeah, I think it's kind of a crazy talent. Then you get the Spoon Man up there. Is he still around? Is he still alive? Oh, he was just in.
He was in Spinal Tap.
He was
the new Spinal Tap movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know if you've seen the new Spinal Tap and what you thought about some of the cameos.
Well, excuse me. I think
some pretty great cameos.
Part of the running gag in the original Spinal Tap is the drummer keeps dying.
Yeah.
Oh,
they can't keep it. What's wrong with you?
Had the hiccups.
Oh my gosh.
And so when they're getting back together in the new Spinal Tap, they're being suggested all these drummers, but everybody's apprehensive because the drummer for Spinal Tap has a way of dying.
Everybody
somehow.
knows.
So nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to play drums for Spinal Tap.
He choked and died on vomit.
He just couldn't prove whose vomit
was. Of course, it wasn't his vomit. Well, you can't dust for vomit.
Can't dust for vomit. Gary says, Fred, I bet there's a cowbell in your vegetable drawer in the fridge. Go check.
Oh,
you never know. You never know. Maybe that's where the remote is to the to the home stereo system.
Gosh. How did that just disappear?
I don't know. I think it's probably lost in the cushion.
Jude probably
somewhere.
picked it up and walked off with it.
It could be. Well, so this I started to mention is, many of us here that are watching right now have a supportive spouse, or they're single, maybe.
or now they're single.
Or going to be soon. I don't know. But I think it's a lot of this is just a jest, right? It's just we're kind of laughing, but the husband-wife dynamic of would you say, Mary, that wives tend to be a little more aware? This is very general speaking of what's happening with money, and so they tend to be a little more frugal, where the husband might be a little more free with that.
You make a lot of assumptions about other people's marital situations.
No, I said it was generally.
I think generally both parties are probably quite aware of what their financial situations are, not one person. But yeah.
Dan says, if you're looking for your remote, do laundry. I find dang near everything when I do. I have found things, though, in the laundry that I thought were missing.
Really?
It's probably not unusual for any of us to discover we lost our keys. Seal says, do you keep a set of sticks in your vehicle? And or tour van because of the dowel incident.
He doesn't. But that's a good idea. I'm just going to grab a pair and throw them in the back of my car.
That's a really good idea, Seal. I
put them back there with the jumper cables and
right
toolkit.
Yeah. So if there's ever a problem on the road, we have our jumper cables, and I have a small little socket set or whatever, and some screwdrivers, just as a. I hope I never have to touch these things, but there could be a pair of sticks right there next to them.
Yeah. Greg says it's harder to hide a drum kit than a guitar as a rule.
Yeah.
Unless you are bringing it home in pieces. You mean like getting it into the house? I guess it's harder to hide it once it's in the house. Yeah, that's true.
Thomas says Fred didn't learn his lesson from that. Now I've got Thomas and Seal beating me up.
No, Thomas, as a rule, Fred doesn't learn lessons.
Oh, come on now.
Well, the proof is in the pudding.
The pudding. No, I haven't had that. Well, the extra pair of sticks could be really good against vampires too, so they're multi-purpose. All right. So
everybody's waiting to hear.
I know. James says, I think most wives tolerate more than support their husband's gear needs.
Well, there's probably some truth to that
too.
Yeah.
So when Jeffrey suggested we do the show called How to Tell Your Wife You Need More Gear, and other marriage dissolving topics, I wanted to take advantage of Chat GPT.
Well, let's see. Hold on. I
can't see. My phone just looks like it's a.
Before you show the Chat GPT,
there it is.
Did Jeff give you any words of wisdom?
No, he did not.
Oh, so he's hoping for words of wisdom.
Maybe. We're all like chomping at the butt. The bit.
Wow.
He touched the butt. So Thomas says, to be fair, we have to tolerate our wives' needs as well. Ooh.
Oh,
I see boxing gloves in Thomas's future.
And like our needs to have a guitar. Uh-huh.
Well, okay, so
I have several guitars.
Most of us here have supporting wives, or like Dale and Corey, right? Dale said it's easier when your spouse is a musician too.
Yes.
Now, quick story. Mary had a little lamb. Mary had 2 guitars.
Wow. Mary had 2.
Ask James Lancaster how many guitars one needs.
Oh.
I'm not sure that James knows how many guitars he even has.
He's got a barcode system.
It's probably like a vending machine. Just shows you the pictures of the guitar, and you put in a code, and one just pops out. That's how organized James is.
Oh.
But at any rate, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So Mary had
2 guitars.
2 guitars and a bass, an acoustic bass, which she still has those guitars. This is when we were doing music at church a lot for years and years and years. And the 12 strings sounded great. The bass is okay, but the 6-string guitar that she had, the acoustic one, started to have a problem. What was the problem with the guitar? Do you remember?
Well,
the
first one
was the electronics.
The first one was just terrible. Are you talking about that first one I had, that Olympia, whatever that was?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one.
That's an Ibanez. I don't think there was a problem with well, that was originally a problem, and then they swapped out that whole unit. But one of the strings, I don't know if it like fell. I have a feeling it fell and probably damaged the neck or something, because one of the strings just will not stay in tune for anything.
Yeah. So you were fighting it, and it was sounded
I can't remember if
weird.
it's the G or the B, but it was one of those. Yeah. Just will not stay in tune.
So in any case, you and I went to 12th Fret Music just to look around, and
oh yeah, well, and it was on Broadway,
and it was this one where they were on Broadway, and
this has been a while ago.
So this is where I did actually pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, at a specific guitar that Mary kept looking at and playing.
Ridgway paid attention.
Dude, this is my story.
Okay.
This is my story.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to mute your mic. What's the brand name of that guitar?
This is an Alvarez.
Alvarez.
Well, I was looking at a Taylor. It was like a baby Taylor or something.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at my wallet.
It was the affordable Taylor.
So I and Mother's Day was quickly approaching. So I knew that Mary liked this guitar and we thought it sounded good. And so unbeknownst to Mary, I went and bought the guitar and I had to hide it. And so she opened it up when we were at church and saw this new guitar for Mother's Day. So that was a fun little purchase I did.
That was so weird because I opened it up and my guitar wasn't in the case, and I'm looking at this guitar like I couldn't figure out what was happening. I'm like, where am I? What's going on? Like, it didn't occur to me that you bought this guitar, and everybody's looking at me like, why isn't she getting her guitar? And I'm like, what is going on?
So Kendall, we're going to answer those questions here in a moment because we got long-winded about cowbells and such.
Yeah.
So Kendall said, did I miss the part of your show where you talked about the essentials quid pro quo for requesting funds for gear purchases?
No, this is
i.e. doing the full list of honeydews before receiving clearance to buy equipment.
No, this is like, when you watch The Biggest Loser and it takes forever to see how much they actually lost, and then they go to a commercial. Yeah, Fred's dragging it out.
No. Okay, so this has been good stuff so far. That's been good stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was a little bit lost on like how do I begin to explain away this discussion you would have with your wife. So I'm sure all of us are no stranger now to using Chat GPT for certain answers to questions.
Yeah.
So we all know that you could put something into Chat GPT and it's like the moment you hit send, boom, it comes back with an answer, right? It's like you could ask like,
I wish my brain worked.
How can you build a rocket that will take you to Mars and back, and it'll come up with an answer like instantaneously?
Yeah.
I put in how to tell my wife I need more drum gear. I put this in last night. It took about 30 seconds for it to come back with a response. And it said, that's a tricky one. That was the first thing. That was the first thing that Chat GPT said was, that's a tricky one. And I thought, oh, that was so appropriate response from Chat GPT on how to tell your wife you need to buy more gear. Yes, Kendall, I am suggesting you come up with your gear request scripts from AI. And see, he says, my wife, the engineer, will appreciate that level of social engineering. All right, so I mistakenly closed that and I had to re-prompt it this morning.
Oh.
How to tell my wife I need more drum gear. I want to go through ChatGPT's response to my question, okay? And this will be the helpful hint that everybody needs. ChatGPT said, this is less about drums and more about communication. Trust and budgeting. Here's a way to approach it that keeps things respectful, increases your odds of a yes. I love that he said that ChatGPT said, here's a way to approach it that keeps things respectful, increases your odds of a yes.
I think
yeah.
James says ChatGPT had to ask Mrs. Chat.
Yeah, of course.
Kendall's gonna go get on Chat right now.
Right? Yeah. So Chat can help you out with many, many things. Many things. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Number 1.
All right.
Lead with why, not what. So instead of I want more gear, explain the reasons behind it.
Uh-huh.
Is this for a specific sound? Of course it is. Replacing something broken or limiting.
Okay.
Now, so we replaced your guitar because I think it was limiting. It wasn't working. It wasn't working quite correctly. It didn't have a good sound. And you know what? As much as you had sacrificed everything for me, it was like the simple gesture of a guitar just made sense.
Yeah, I mean, a $500 guitar is way cheaper than a $5,000 drum set.
It is. And playing more gigs, recording, teaching, or stress relief. People are much more open when they understand the purpose.
Well, that's true. I think I could agree with
that.
Okay,
Kendall says, prompt to Gemini. My wife is very fiscally minded and wants to make sure that we are prioritizing household items, but I own my own business and I need to procure pieces of music equipment, sound recording, and instruments. What are some quick statements and strategies to get her in alignment with these purchases?
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, and
here we go.
Yeah. So you're going to share Gemini's response?
Are we opening up Pandora's box?
Possibly. Every music
that's happening.
Every music store in town right now is like, oh, prepare yourself.
We're going out of business.
No, we're going out of stock.
Okay, let's see what. Okay, now, Kendall says, this is a common growth versus stability tension in many households.
So Gemini and chat are on the same page.
Yes, they are. They're close friends, right? To get her on board, you need to bridge the gap between your entrepreneurial vision and her need to for fiscal security.
Totally agree.
The goal isn't to win the argument, but to frame your gear as revenue-generating assets. Revenue-generating assets rather than hobbyist expenses. Shift the language.
Ooh.
Avoid using words like buy, get, or gear. Instead, use business terminology that speaks to the fiscal mind. Asset frame. I'm looking at
acquiring.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, wow. This is long response.
Oh, I didn't. Wow, I don't see the whole thing.
Oh, it keeps going.
It ends
going,
for me.
Going.
It ends with I'm looking at.
Okay.
Keep reading there, producer.
I've got to find where. Okay, I'm looking at acquiring a new business asset that will increase my billable output by X%. The efficiency frame. This specific piece of equipment will reduce my production time by X hours, allowing me to take on more clients. The competitive frame. To stay competitive in the current market and maintain our household income, I need to upgrade my production capabilities to meet industry standards. The resale frame. This brand of instrument holds 90% of its value. It's essentially a liquid asset for the business.
Whoa.
Oh, gosh, I don't know that I would use that one. Strategies for alignment. She is fiscally minded. She likely values predictability and return on investment. Use these strategies to provide her with the comfort. Create a sinking fund instead of pulling from the general household account for a big purchase. Set up a dedicated business savings account. I agree with that. Show her that a percentage of every paycheck you bring in is being set aside specifically for equipment. This proves you aren't raiding the grocery or mortgage money.
Right?
Yeah, the mortgage or the utilities or everything.
Yeah, any
Present
other bill.
a mini business case. Treat her like a CFO. Oh boy, so you're giving her power.
Whoa.
Before a major purchase, show her a simple breakdown. Cost, $2,000. Expected revenue increase. This allows me to offer service X, which pays $500 per session. Break-even point. After 4 sessions, the unit is paid for and becomes pure profit.
Wow.
There you go.
Now, okay.
Whoa, he's still going.
I know, but this sounds like you're talking to the bank and not your wife.
Well, okay.
Like if you're trying to get a loan for something.
But most of these are pretty
funny.
He's talking, but keep in mind the way he worded his question, he is talking about it from a business standpoint for his studio. Just like, wow, I can hear you swallowing from here. I'm going to continue. The 1 in, 1 out rule. If your studio is getting crowded, offer to sell an older, unused piece of gear to fund the new one. I agree with that. You don't need to have crap laying around. This signals to her that you aren't just accumulating stuff, but are actively managing an inventory. Tax advantage education. This is one McCrost used all the time. Ensure she understands the Section 179 deduction or your local equivalent.
Gosh.
Remind her that these purchases lower your taxable business income, which ultimately keeps more money in the household's pocket at the end of the year. Does it though? Because you just spent $5,000 on something. 3, comparison table, hobbyist versus business owner.
Hey,
when
you're taking away my thunder here,
I'm
Kendall.
still reading. When you say she hears, instead say she hears. I want a new guitar, a luxury toy. I'm adding a specific tonal asset to the studio. Expanding service offerings. I need this preamp, expensive electronics. This reduces my post-production time by 20%.
Wow.
Yeah, think about if you had some little gizmo that sped up your little editing thing that you're doing with all your past videos. Increased hourly rate efficiency. It's on sale. Spending money unnecessarily. The ROI on this unit is currently optimized due to a 15% capital expenditure discount.
Holy moly.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
The peace offering strategy. Sometimes the best way to get... Dying to know where this one's going. The best way to get a yes on a business purchase is to ensure the household feels the win too. When you land a big contract because of your gear, allocate a small bonus to a household goal she cares about, like a new guitar. A renovation fund or a vacation. This connects your business growth directly to her personal priorities. Would you like me to help you draft a specific business case for a piece of equipment you're eyeing right now? Yes, please.
Wow.
Off to ask my wife if I can buy an SSL console.
Yeah, that's what Greg said. I'm off to ask my wife.
Greg, you don't want it. You need it for your business.
Right?
It'll make everything sound better, and then your business will boom because your production output is high quality. All right. Well, she is a project manager.
Yeah, that's what Chris Fuqua said.
They're not mutually exclusive.
All right. Now back to
that was good stuff, Kendall.
That was really great. Now, my ChatGPT was not that in depth.
No. Well, you probably didn't have an in-depth prompt like he did.
And I think this comes up here in a few of these suggestions, but I'm not a collector of gear necessarily, where some drummers kind of pride themselves in antiquated equipment, drums that are old.
What about that old one that's sitting up on the cabinet?
Yeah, well, that's a little bit different.
Really?
I don't have a storage unit full of those, for one.
Well, I know, but you were supposed to resell it. It's still sitting there.
Shut it.
Just waiting to see that pink drum disappear.
Pink?
Isn't it? Or is it red?
It's red and silver. Oh. That I have like 2 old drums that are kind of cool. So
that just sit on the cabinet.
I don't have a warehouse full of them though. Like some people I know.
That would be a problem for me.
So I try to just have gear around that I use. But when we were building the studio and needed to buy recording equipment, I did sell a lot of gear that I didn't use or need anymore to help purchase.
Well, an entire drum set, your big drum set that you had.
Yeah. So that turned into cash for all the recording equipment, which was great. Okay, number 2, show you've thought it through. now Kendall's his
Gemini response.
That response was well thought out.
Yeah.
It was to me it would sound like you were getting a loan from the bank, not talking to your wife. So you would have to like.
If he's like I said, he was approaching it from a business standpoint.
Yeah. And she's an engineer apparently.
Well, what kind of engineer?
I don't know.
Like an electrical engineer, a mechanical engineer.
She needs an engineer,
a music
talking.
engineer. Yeah. So she likes the technical stuff.
That says before you talk to her, know.
Oh boy.
What gear you want, roughly the cost, why it's better than what you already have, whether it's a need now versus nice to have later. This signals maturity and not impulse buying.
True.
So there you go.
Well, okay. So when you were buying that drum kit that's sitting behind you,
Yes.
I was not happy about it.
No, you weren't.
Because we were not financially set to be able to do that. And you weren't thinking about selling your old drums in order to pay for it. So,
well, the old drums were the only drums I had.
Right. But you weren't going to sell those to help pay for the new kit once you had the new kit. So
yeah,
I had an impulsive response. So be careful, folks, because your wife might have an impulsive response. And I bought 2 guitars, bam, bam, just like that. I'm like, well, if he gets that, then I get this.
You did.
And that's when I bought my acoustic bass and my 12-string.
And those were purchased before the drums were.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
We went into Guitar Center to look for drums, and we left with 2
guitars.
Nope,
I got them at Dorsey.
No,
I got that bass. Oh, it was the bass. It was the bass and the Tacoma Olympia, that crappy guitar. Those were from Dorsey.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah. But my 12-string, I think I may have.
And that's a great sounding guitar.
I love that. That's a really good guitar.
Okay. Number 3, connect it to shared priorities. Frame it in a way that aligns with things you both value. Mental health and creative outlet. Some of these might go hand in hand with what Kendall's without Gemini, right?
Mm-hmm.
Extra income from gigs. See, you're going to have this gear that's going to make money for you. Long-term hobby versus short-term spending.
Mm-hmm.
Noise control upgrades that make life easier for both of you. Here's an example of framing, not role play, just structure. Music helps me decompress, and this piece of gear would actually let me practice and play more effectively without causing issues at home.
Now, as a musician, so like if you were let's take drums out of it, because drums are quite different. But if you were a guitar player,
yeah,
and or like, okay, I'm a guitar player. Okay, so I play guitar, and the first guitar that I had, like as a new guitar player, I guess I just wasn't really good at picking out something good. I knew I wanted the really nice expensive ones, but of course I couldn't afford the $2,000 guitar. So I chose something that I thought sounded good in the store, but after a while it was like, this thing sucks. And when you're trying to learn an instrument, and you've got this with even your drum students, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're trying to learn an instrument and the instrument you're learning on is bad and it's a frustrating experience, it makes you not want to play. It just is discouraging.
Yep.
And so as a musician, I understand that, like, oh, I need this thing, I need this other thing, whether it's cymbals, like better cymbals or better heads, or a different guitar or whatever. I understand, like, from a quality standpoint, like why that's important and why it would keep you going, whether you're a hobbyist or a gigging musician, right? But if I wasn't a musician, I don't know, like I can see how some people don't understand that importance.
Yeah.
Like maybe parents not understanding that. And when when Christian was like a year old and I started that kinder music thing, I remember my dad telling me, like, buy the instruments that kinder music sells because they're good quality instruments. You don't want, like, don't go to Walmart and load up on crappy shakers and things and little instruments that have bad tone, because then it kind of ruins their hearing. In a sense, it's like they get used to hearing crap out of tune. And you don't want them to learn how to play on you don't want them developing their ear that way. So I have an appreciation for good quality equipment.
That
and I think that you should and that you should have something that's good. And if it means you have to save up for a while, then save up for a while.
Yeah. So I mean, two really important things is music gear can be expensive even for low quality stuff. There's an investment there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you have to buy top shelf gear necessarily, but like you said, you need to have instruments that feel right to play, that stay in tune, and they feel good when you play it right, and it's in tune, so it sounds like it's supposed to sound. Sometimes you can get away with less expensive drums and put new drum heads on it, and I mean, there's things that you can do to make drums sound good, even if it's like lower quality drums.
Except for those drums that are sitting on the plant shelf above the TV.
Yeah, those are just junk. But
I had to learn how to play drums on those.
You can't tune a cymbal necessarily. Now, somebody said, "Well, wait a minute. Yeah, you can." I can. I know some people that have certain cymbals or something, and they don't quite like the sound or whatever, and you can send them to somebody, and they'll relay them and make them thinner or whatever they do. But I mean, like, to me, it's just like, what's the point of the expense of that? Like, just buy a cymbal that sounds the way that you want it to sound. But crappy sounding cymbals sound like crap, and they kind of suck the joy out of playing when you hit them, and it just sounds bad.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to spend money somewhere, it would be on better sounding cymbals. But that could be like a whole nother show talking about that. But then there's the other line that you can cross is like trying to have the Ferrari of everything, right?
Right.
And some musicians think like if they have the best of the best equipment that they're going to play better. Not necessarily the case. We're all looking for that extra little advantage to play a bass drum faster or this sound enhancing thing or whatever. I am so like not into all of that. I just want really good gear that sounds great, and I'm pretty simplistic as far as that goes. I don't spend years trying different spring tensions on my pedal to make the pedal work.
Well, your abilities make a huge difference too. So like with the crappy drum set that we now have as decoration.
Yeah.
In the living room on that plant shelf. You had gotten that all fixed up for me to play at church for that Celebrate Recovery service that I was doing. Yeah. And they bless your heart. I appreciated you trying to make them look nice because you got them all sanded down. Like you put a lot of work into them to make them look nice.
Yeah.
And they looked okay, but they sounded awful.
Terrible. Yep.
And it didn't matter how hard I tried. I just couldn't get them to sound good.
Mm-mm.
But a lot of it was my ability because when you played them, they sounded a lot better than when I played them, but they still sounded crappy.
Yeah.
So, but like you can have, my point being is you can have nice gear, but if your skill level isn't where it needs to be, don't blame it on the gear. Like just, you need to take lessons or something. You need to get somebody to help you. Yeah. So it does sound good and it is enjoyable because nobody wants to play an instrument and feel like they sound bad.
Right. Yeah. and Greg is echoing what we've heard before. Buy once, cry once.
Yeah.
Also playing a fine instrument creates more positive experience for the player, yes, whether you are a beginner or a professional.
Exactly.
So, excuse me. For example, like when my students come here, I have 3 drum sets set up in this room and they all sound really good. And of course they're in a room designed for sound, right? So, but they go home and they play their drums in their garage and maybe they're not tuned up very well. And they're like, that just doesn't sound like it does when I'm at Fred's. I hear that quite often.
Yeah.
So learning how to tune your instrument, that's an important thing, and making great choices on drum heads and cymbals and, some sound treatment in the room to make things sound pretty good without, remortgaging the house.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about money, like the next prompt from chat here was, be transparent about money. This is often the real issue.
Yeah.
And I think by and large the money part is the issue, right?
Oh yeah, I would say because let's say we're Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce wealthy, right? Like you running out and buying a $10,000 drum set isn't even going to faze me when I have billions of dollars.
Yeah, that's like pocket change, and I mean, So Kendall says, update. Wife was informed and appreciated that she was part of the discussion.
And she still said no. Wow, Kendall, that was quick.
Mr. Gambini, that was a well thought out rebuttal. Overruled. Suggest a budget cap. Chris says, hi, Margot. She said maybe, says Kendall.
Nice.
There you go. You got a maybe out of it. Suggest a budget cap. Offer to save for it over time. Sell unused gear to offset the cost. Trade or buy used.
Yeah. I think when there is a well thought out plan that, for example, like with your drums, your old drums and the ones you have sitting in there, like if you had said, I want to buy this drum. I've had this one forever. I would like to upgrade. I want a nicer set.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sell this one to help pay for it. And I've been okay. Not, like that, then that would be a little more agreeable.
Well, I was younger. But I mean, at the same time, like I guess my thought process going back to then was like that was when Midline was really busy doing a lot of stuff, and everybody in the band, our gear was getting pretty ratty.
Right, but
it had been so beat up.
But here's the difference. Like Midline didn't make money. Like original bands don't make money. So in my band, cover bands make money, right? So these guys use their earnings from they have day jobs, but they use their earnings to buy new equipment or upgrade or whatever. And I swear Kelly's got a new bass guitar every time I see him. He's like, I changed this, I got that, or he's got a different little keyboard or something. But like even like Brandon and Daniel have gone through different gear. They sell stuff.
Yeah.
But they're working, they move towards getting their dream equipment too, right? And they're using the money that they earn.
Well, what I'm saying is at that point, that was the only drum set I had. So if I sold that, I wouldn't have a drum set until I bought the next one.
I know.
Right? So I didn't have any opportunity for a crossover.
I know.
But it ended up working out because we bought recording equipment with that drum set.
That's true.
So
20 years later.
But I mean, the money thing is probably the number one deal, right?
Yes. Of course.
For most of us, that is it's a pretty big concern. But see, so that turns it from asking permission to problem solving together.
Your living situation probably is an issue too.
Yeah.
We live in our own house, and so you were able to convert this third bay of our garage into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we lived in an apartment or like a duplex or something?
Yeah. And I'd have to rent a space to rehearse.
Yeah. So you have to consider some of those things, I guess. But I guess if you're already a drummer, then.
Well, the title of the show is How to Tell Your Wife You Need More Gear. So the title suggests that you already have gear and you need more.
Sure. Okay.
Do you need more or want more? Now, for example,
it depends. Do you need it or do you want it?
Well, okay. So when
I mean, do you need more cowbells or do you want more cowbells?
Now, I can't tell you how all of these cowbells wound up in my possession other than it's just they migrated here somehow over time. I don't really remember. I mean, I know that.
Well, the little red one I said came from Kinder Music. Yeah. You said that little one that actually looks like it came off of Bessie from 4-H. You said you got that in high school or something,
I did.
Right?
And I'm pretty sure I bought that used from American Music in Caldwell when I was like in high school.
And they just found it on a farm.
I don't know. Maybe they did. But the chrome one I had from Showcase days. So that's at least from 1992.
Did you buy that or did they buy that?
They bought it.
Mm-hmm.
All that gear was provided to me. So, and then my Ridge Rider that I bought, I had to have a cowbell for something.
Are you talking about the big one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite one. That one just has a really
It does
good
sound
tone.
great. It does sound really, really good. And I did that show with the Guns N' Roses tribute band in the beginning of November, and I played the snot out of that cowbell because there's so much cowbell in those songs.
There was snot in it?
I played the snot out of it. Yeah.
Gross.
It's a snotty cowbell. Not anymore. But
it's all gone.
Chris Fuqua says, I have no gear, I have no wife. Well, James says I have the internal arguments with myself about gear now. I usually can't convince myself that I need anything anymore.
Aww.
But I always want it. Okay, so I had I don't know why I have the hiccups. Mary, you would know the name of this person, but I'm not going to say his name, okay?
Oh, okay.
But I had a drum student 10, 12, maybe a little bit longer ago. I had a drum
Years
student.
or months?
Years, sorry. Uh-huh. And he was taking drum lessons, and he would rarely, if ever, practice. And an adult student. And I said, well, hey man, I was just curious, like what's the hang up with not being able to play your drums or practice or anything? And he said, well, my wife doesn't like it when I play. And so I just jokingly said, well, I would get a new wife.
Ouch.
and he kind of laughed at me for a second and kind of went like, well, first of all, that was a joke and that wasn't going to happen. But it was kind of this look of like silent desperation, like wanting to play drums, but not having that support from home to be able to do it. So that's kind of a rough situation to be in when you don't even have that support for like, hey, this is a hobby thing I want to do, and being frowned upon, and maybe because it's noisy. All right, so the next thing would be
definitely not a quiet instrument,
right? Drums are loud by nature. Number 5, invite her opinion. Well, with Mary, she's going to give me her opinion regardless if I invite it or not.
No invitation.
There's no invitation. Yeah. This matters more than people think. Can I run this by you? So that's kind of like the Kendall Shoe approach, right? From his Gemini. Can I run this by you? What do you think would be reasonable here? Is there a better time financially? Feeling included lowers resistance a lot.
How about this thing would help me, da 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 da.
Yep.
How can we make this work?
I think
how can
our current agreement right now is that I pretty much keep you in the loop of everything that I'm doing because we're so involved all the time. But for example, switching all my cymbals out to Peisty cymbals from Soul Tone. I still had Zildjian cymbals around from previous stuff, and when I got that endorsement with Soul Tone, that made it pretty affordable to replace cymbals. And then once I let go of that and switched to Peisty cymbals, I couldn't just run out and buy a whole bunch of new cymbals. Mm-hmm. That would be thousands of dollars investment, right? So it just started by replacing one at a time. So scouring Facebook Marketplace and Reverb.com and different places to see what I could maybe buy used. So I got one cymbal, and so then that freed up a couple cymbals, and then I started selling the old cymbals to afford to buy the new one. So I was never really taking any money away from the general pool of funds that we needed to live, right? It was just selling that gear and then replacing it with new stuff. But only that goes back to, well, like you could have sold the other old drum set and bought the new one. Mm-hmm. But I was in a position where I wasn't like without anything. Does that make sense?
Right.
So it's just upgrading by selling the old stuff or the stuff that I didn't need anymore.
Right.
So number 6, be willing to accept a not right now gracefully. A calm response like, okay, thanks for hearing me out. Maybe we revisit it later. Goes a long way toward future approvals. And see, so Kendall said that he got a maybe. He got a maybe, baby.
Yeah. Maybe, baby.
And then ChatGPT says bonus drummer wisdom. And James says it's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think any wife is going to get mad if somebody just gifts you a drum set, right? It's always about the money and about how it's going to, what kind of a sacrifice is it going to be to your budget.
Yeah.
If you just have money of your own that you've got saved up for a rainy day, then okay. But if you're like, I need this and it's going to cut into something, that could be a problem. And I do not recommend having that kind of a discussion where it's going to be a financial problem. I do not ever recommend getting into financial trouble because you want something so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I've been guilty of doing that in the past.
Let's face it, you don't need it necessarily unless your livelihood actually depends on it. So especially if you're a hobbyist, like it's not a need. It's a want that might lean towards a need, but those kind of things should never like jeopardize you paying your bills.
Well, we are in a situation now where all of our income is music dependent.
Yeah.
And it's just like when I was in the landscaping world, I couldn't afford to have equipment that didn't work. Like my equipment had to work. Right. I had to be able to turn a key and it start, or pull a cord and it start, or whatever.
Yeah, like so when your trimmer died and you said I need a new trimmer, or it was about to die and you say I need a new trimmer. No, I didn't want to buy a new trimmer because they're expensive, but it was necessary.
Yeah.
So in order for you to keep earning money, yes, we had to buy a new trimmer.
Because the downtime can be financially devastating too. Yeah. So now we're just kind of like in a different situation where I need to have fresh drum heads frequently because we're recording and you know, I've got currently 47 students a week walk through this door who play on my gear. That is like 23 hours a week of students playing on my drums, playing on my drum heads, playing on my cymbals. And then add on to it another 10 to 15 hours that I'm personally playing a week, maybe longer, depending on what I'm doing. So, I mean, and plus shows, it's pretty easy to have 40 hours a week of drumming on my equipment. I'm going to go through drum heads faster. I'm going to go through cymbals faster. I'm going to go through drumsticks pretty quick because I'm playing nonstop, right? And I'm not in a position to be able to be like, well, I can't have students play that because those drums aren't working or they're broken or whatever. They have to be working and they have to sound good. They have to have that inspiration. Here's an interesting question that Thomas posts. Would students playing on your gear be a write-off? Interesting.
Well, the drum heads, because you're a musician and because of the studio, the drum heads are a write-off, yes.
Yeah. All the gear's written off for sure. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, me buying drum heads and cymbals or things is probably going to be more frequent than just a person who just drums in their bedroom, right? They don't play shows, they don't teach, they're just having fun. Yeah. And maybe they play their drums 3 or 4 hours a week. is a big difference than 40 hours a week of use. So for us, it's a business thing, right?
Yeah.
We're just still being responsible with it. But so the Chat GPT thing, bonus drummer wisdom. If you can clearly explain why you need it instead of just why you want it, you're already halfway there. And then it says, if you want, I can help you decide whether the gear is truly worth it, prioritize upgrades, or turn I want more drums into a solid, convincing case.
Oh, gear insurance. That's a good question.
Yeah. You could get gear insurance. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know who. Like, I don't know if that's like an Allstate kind of thing or if you go through a special insurance agency.
I think it would be like when we insured our equipment with
like,
our landscaping business.
Yeah.
And I want to say that when Midline was an S Corp, because we had liability insurance too.
But
this is something that probably most bands don't think about is having liability insurance, so that when you're working and performing at a club and something happens,
like your speakers fall over and hit somebody.
Yeah. I mean, there's any number of scenarios that could be.
But liability insurance wouldn't cover loss of your equipment,
No,
right?
I'm just saying that was part of what we had. But I think that we did have some kind of loss thing for our gear.
Because you hear about like bands that are on tour and
their trailer gets stolen.
Or I don't know, they hit a bunch of snow and the trailer rolled and now their gear is all smashed inside. And I don't know what kind of insurance covers that. Like if it covers stuff that's in your trailer, if you're as opposed to like, you were in a wreck and like the insurance covers whatever damage might be done to your car or people, the injuries.
I'm pretty sure we had some kind of loss insurance.
That's
I don't remember what the name of it was exactly, but I mean, we're talking about like at that time we were really busy and on the road a lot and doing a lot of stuff. So I mean, the risk of that was higher than it is, we would love to play more, but this post-COVID environment's been a little bit strange for us, but we're working through it.
Things are getting better.
Yeah.
And the like clubs shutting down and new clubs are some clubs reopening and some new ones opening, and there's a lot of places to play in town. You just got to reach out.
Yeah. So you being the wife of a drummer is a unique thing, but what's even more unique is that we're both musicians, kind of like Dale and Corey. But not everybody has that kind of support. And what would you say to the non-musician spouse about these kind of things?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot.
I am.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just kind of a general, like I said before, from an outsider's perspective, I would say like the musician, if it's just a hobby type thing, then money needs to be saved up and it can't come from your living expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be separate money.
Well, that's just being responsible, right?
Right. But but my advice to that musician is that that's how you need to approach that to your non-musician wife or spouse.
Yeah.
Because it could be that she's the musician and the husband's.
Yeah.
But
well, I've had that because I have some female drummers who husbands find themselves having to help pay for drums.
Yeah. Right. So, for the non-musician spouse, I don't know. I guess the thought is like everybody has something that they're passionate about, right? Mm-hmm. And so maybe the non-musician spouse like really loves expensive purses or likes a certain kind of a car that's more expensive or likes vacations, or I don't know, there might be things that are non-musical that they like, that, you know, maybe just be a little understanding that this is what this person is passionate about. And like, I don't know how to explain to somebody who's not a musician what it feels like on the inside, like internally when when you are musical. Like, it's, I don't even know how to put it. I don't know how to verbalize it, but like there's this thing inside of you that's like, like it wants to explode. Like it wants to come out, this musical thing that wants to come out. And when it's, when it can't come out, it's like, it's frustrating, I guess. And so like maybe just understanding that it's like there's a need there that has to be met in some way to appease that person's character.
Yeah.
But not to the point where it's like, well, just run out and get whatever you want. And then like $10,000 later, it's like, oh wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
But ramen for dinner.
But ramen for dinner because I bought 2 ride cymbals.
I think, but we've known people in that situation.
Yeah.
Where, and there are people who are maybe non-musical, but they are supportive. But we do have at least one close friend whose spouse was not supportive at all. And, it was actually kind of sad to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like, nurture your musician.
Yeah.
But like you gotta kind of keep it in check. Make sure you are responsible. If you're a gigging musician, then like your earnings can help pay for, the new equipment. But like if you're replacing something because it's not good, then you need to sell it. You don't just hold on to it unless it's like your backup.
Yeah. Well, I think
people because a lot of people will have 2 guitars, right? Like, oh, I'm playing along and oh crap, a string just broke, and so you can grab the other guitar, or something goes wrong, then you have this backup just in case, like like you have sticks.
Well,
or an extra snare.
Our good friend Terry Sharp.
Uh-huh.
He hasn't been. I mean, he had been a touring musician from the time I met him until like the last 2 years. He hasn't been doing much as far as that goes. But I remember a long time I asked him, because he had and we had played in a couple different bands together over the years. But I asked him, I said, how many backup guitars do you have? He says, I don't have any backup guitars. Every guitar I have has a specific purpose and reason for it being played. And maybe it's tuned a certain way, or it has a certain sound, or whatever the case was. So he never looked at them as like, I have a spare guitar in case this one stops working, which I guess in principle that is the case.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't look at them as backup guitars.
Uh-huh.
Now we could go down a different road, but I don't want to get too far. But having a backup snare, like most bigger shows that I play, I have another snare drum right next to me, ready to go if I break a head on that one. But if I'm doing a lot of traveling and need to save space, I do have backup drum heads. Mm-hmm. I've got a snare side head and a batter head for my snare, ready to go.
Yeah.
That's usually going to be the drum head that goes if one goes. But like I said, I replace my drum heads frequently, so I don't have stuff that's on the edge of not working anymore.
Yeah. Well, when it comes down to it, instruments are not cheap unless you're playing spoons.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have to start small and work your way up, I guess. But just make sure you're making it worth it. Like, don't go out and buy some $3,000 guitar, but then you never play it. Like, you never practice on it. You never gig. You never do anything, because then that's gonna lead to some resentment from the old spouse. Why did we buy this if it just sits in the closet?
So our friend Jim McCrossy would say that's like owning a space shuttle, but you just go to the grocery store to get milk with it. you don't ever fly it to space, right?
Yeah.
You just keep it in the garage and look at it, and then, oh, we need more milk. Well, I'm going to drive the space shuttle to Albertsons and get the milk and come back.
Right.
It's like it's a really imbalance thing.
Thomas says and this is kind of what I was touching on. The thing I have going for me is that my wife has a very expensive hobby. So if I want to buy something, she can't really judge. She just wants to make sure I save for stuff or that we can actually afford the stuff right away. Yeah, exactly. Like what I was saying. Yeah.
Hey, Thomas, is your wife's hobby horses?
Oh,
that tends to be a hobby that's unbelievably expensive.
Yeah.
I know a few people like that. I'm just curious. I'm just making a guess.
And then they'll be like, I can't just have one horse.
No.
Yeah, you can.
Because that horse has to have a friend.
You can only ride one at a time.
Right. But Greg says guitars.
Well, this is my backup horse.
Greg says guitars could be style and genre specific. I have always been envious of the guys that just have one or two guitars only.
Well.
Yeah, well, I think working musicians, those needs and desires might be a little bit different than the person that just only plays in the living room, or their garage or wherever.
Yeah,
and they want to have more toys or.
But I don't want to. I don't want to also I don't want to dismiss the person that's trying to learn.
No,
and they're playing on crap. Like you don't want crap. Like you need to have a good quality, like you can buy quality stuff, like good stuff that doesn't break the bank. And that's when you go and you go to a place like 12th Fret and they have experts there that can help you pick out the right thing for you. If you don't know what to buy, like if you're still pretty new, like I really want to play acoustic guitar. This is the sound I like. Because they all have different sounds. Like an Ovation sounds very different from a Martin.
Yep.
So, or a Taylor. And so, and a 12-string sounds very different from a 6-string. So, but maybe you're like, well, I want to play acoustic and electric. And then, here, let me hook you up with this thing that like you can switch a little switch. And
no, you just need one of each.
Yeah.
You need an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar.
What was the guitar the Line 6 or whatever that Jim had? That's it's a 12-string. Oh, it's a 6-string. Oh, it's an electric. Oh, it's.
Greg probably knows since Greg's a guitar player, but there was
I think it was a Line 6 guitar.
Variax.
The Variax, yeah.
That's what it is. And I think it had a pedal too that like if you wanted to do like down tuning, it would just automatically do it.
Yeah, it did some crazy stuff.
So James says get a hobby horse instead of a horse hobby.
Yes.
And then Thomas, dude, I bullseye. Yes, she has been an equestrian for 30 years. It's an expensive car payment that never goes away.
Right?
Yeah, we've had friends that have horses and they don't have a place to keep them. Well, my sister that's a different scenario.
She's like
but,
breeding.
Some people have horses, but they have to have them. What do you call it when they live somewhere else?
Yeah, they're
boarding. Horse boarding.
Yeah, which Brandon Tillman's wife is doing that now. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, if you guys know Brandon Tillman, they just opened up this
from the band Problematic.
Yeah, so local musician, singer, guitar player, piano player, skateboarder. They just opened on their property, and I can't remember if they're in Cuna or Nampa. I don't remember.
I think they're in Nampa.
This building. Well, it's two things. So they have this big building where part of it is like a skate park, and so he's teaching skate lessons. And then the other side of it is horse boarding and training. And they did a little video and shared this video, and it looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
So anybody looking to board their horse or get it trained, they've got like professional trainers that will work with them and everything. So it looks really, really nice.
Greg says you need a Les Paul.
Yes.
Agreed. No Paul, no balls. That's what I always say. A Telecaster.
Yes.
a Gretsch, something 80s shredder metal with the Floyd Rose, and an acoustic or two.
That sounds all reasonable to me.
Reasonable to me. Yeah.
So I still need my Les Paul. I still need my Telly. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that hollow body. Yeah. And what is that guitar that Elliot has? That's got a Floyd Rose, right? Is it a Jackson?
It might be
that Rob gave him.
Yeah.
Which
Thomas says we call it horse pour.
Horse pour.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yep. Yeah.
I've got my 2 acoustic guitars, and then.
Well, don't you have 3? You still have the blue one, right?
Oh yeah, I meant 6 strings. Yeah, I've got the 2 6 strings.
Yep. You got a 12 string
and the acoustic.
You got the acoustic bass, and we don't have, other than Elliot's electric guitars, we don't have any, right?
Yeah, I just really been wanting one.
Well,
how to tell your drummer husband that you need new gear,
right? Well,
except for me, it's a want. But maybe Jeff will need me to play some rhythm electric.
Well, here's the thing.
Backup brand.
We have one more show left of the that Variax guitars are so weird. Greg, I'm not a guitar player, so I have no experience, but I do know people that have had those, and they were like really cool for a brief moment, and then after a while they were selling them.
Oh,
so that's just my sideline view of the Variax guitar. I don't even know of anybody that actually uses those. Maybe Greg does, but I do not.
Yeah, because I know Jim sold his.
Yeah,
he had it for a few years and then sold it.
I'm willing to bet that James Lancaster had one or may still have one, but I don't know of him using
James has all the guitars.
James has a music store at his house.
Yeah, he's got all the guitars. He's probably the person to ask about insurance, unless that just falls under his homeowner's insurance.
I don't know. James is a smart dude, so
he is a smart dude.
He chose his drummer friends wisely. But we got one more show left of the year. Next week we'll be on. We'll probably talk about New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yes.
Greg says a drum equivalent would be an electric kit, and claiming they sound just like the real thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That hurt. I felt that like it was like a gut punch. Like, ooh.
But it's true. It's true. I think
it sounded really cool when he first got it.
Digital drums have gotten really, really good.
Yeah, but they've
gotten really, really good. But from an actual playing perspective, like hitting it, and they keep getting better. They don't see when you play a real instrument, a real drum, you're moving air, and there's a vibration to it, right? And there's something that moves through the room. Last week when we had Rick Stojak on the show, the one big thing that he talked about that got him into drumming was playing on his brother's drummer's drum set and hitting a floor tom and just feeling that fill the room with that low end and that vibration that went through them. You don't get that with electric drums.
No.
You got to have headphones on or some speakers or something, and
we still have the tappy sound of the.
Yeah.
Even though they have like the mesh heads, the cymbals are still the rubber, right? That hard rubber.
Yeah.
And so like I don't like when we go to church and that they've got that they have that electric kit, and the way they have it positioned on the stage, he's like clear up front. Mm-hmm. It's really weird how they have him placed. And he's like up front and to the side, and of course that's the side we sit on.
And you hear all the
and I hear all the tapping like it's a drum pad. Yeah. And I hear that over the sound of the drums, and then on top of it, either it's a poor sound that's been chosen to play, or the mix of it, the EQ and everything is just terrible. It just sounds so bad.
Well, I mean, just generally,
it sounds like garbage.
Yeah,
it does not sound good at all.
The nuance that any of us drummers would get from how we play the hi-hat, by how much pressure we put on the pedal, and hearing the sound of like slightly, just the nuance that you can get on how you're playing the cymbals and how the stick is moving. You don't get that with an electric kit. Mm-mm. So here's an excuse for drummers to go tell their wives, I need acoustic drums.
Right. Yes. Well, just people will get an electric kit because it's quiet. Oh, it's quiet. Yeah. I can just put headphones on. And there's some truth to it, but there's still the sound of hitting all of that. Like it's going to be quieter, but you're still going to hear all that noise.
Well, I have students that have electric drums. See, now Thomas and James are in agreement. Like Tom said, I would rather spend the money on the real deal instrument than a wannabe instrument. The electric kit is nice for what it is. It just doesn't feel or sound the same. And then James' touch, feel, and dynamics are not accurately translated by electronic drums.
Yeah.
There's drums are a physical instrument. We're using our whole body to play this thing. And like I tell my students, like you're kind of like dancing behind the drums. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of develop this relationship between you and the drums, right? Mm-hmm. And how you strike the drum and where and all of that are going to give you a different feedback in the vibration of how it sounds and the different pitch that you get. Yeah. And that it's completely gone with electric drums. Uh-huh. And so I can have students that come in and they'll start playing and it'll be like super loud to them. So they play really quiet. But when they're at home on their electric kit, they can be playing really, really quiet, just little tappy tap.
And it sounds loud.
But they can have a setting that sounds like they're playing in a concert hall or an arena, right?
And they can turn the volume up.
So they're playing like this, but in their ears are hearing, this huge sound.
Yeah.
So it's like the physical aspect of what they're doing versus what they hear are not in balance.
Yeah.
And it just,
well, when
I think
so when we were playing downtown at the church downtown, the setup of the sanctuary over the stage is just this crazy like arch, and all the sounds when you'd have the amps on stage and the drums on stage and then the monitors, the piano, the sound was just a nightmare. And it got to be where like, then you're fighting, like, I can't hear myself. And can you turn up my vocal, or can you turn up my guitar? And like, next thing you know, it's so loud on stage that they just turn the mains off because it's too loud. And so they had this, these experts come in and assess, and the whole church. And one of the things, of course, was the worship music and the sound and everything. Mm-hmm. And they were like, literally, like, you can't even have the mains on. The sound is so loud on the stage. It's awful. And so the solution was to go with in-ears, which I think they ended up doing in-ears only for the musicians and not the singers. They kept the floor wedges for the singers. But they went to an electric kit. Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, you were not a fan of that. But it was like, well, we either put him in a cage or we switched to an electric kit. And so the pastor was like, I don't want Fred in a cage.
Yeah.
So
can't cage the Fred.
Can't cage the Fred. And so that was the solution, was to go to an electric kit, and they made the decision to buy a really nice one, like a high quality, expensive electric kit.
Yep.
And you got it sounded pretty good. And I don't know if it ever, and based on where you were positioned, you were in the back of all that space, so you're a good distance away from the audience, but I don't I don't know how many people could hear you tapping. I know when we were at Dry Creek, I could hear you tapping through my inners. But
when you play an electric kit, like jukebox, for example, you're going to clean up the sound really fast,
right?
And you
sound control. Yep.
You have a way more efficient setup and tear down, sound check, all of those kind of things. But yeah, like.
But John's not playing on garbage either.
No, John has a very, very nice rolling kit.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
High quality.
So yeah, that's where like spending the money on something that's really, really good is gonna save you. But so Greg says, I have a bunch of students whose living situations require the use of electric kits, it takes them a while to adapt to the acoustic kit in the lesson studio. Yeah. Same. I experienced the same thing, but that's one area of drums where you're going to get what you pay for. Like literally, like if you pay low dough for electric kits, you're getting a low dough electric kit. It's going to be bare minimum thing. Now,
I would say like if you're getting a low quality electric kit, you're not using it for like normal purposes. It might be like that's the little thing you take on the road with you, and you have the first floor hotel room and you're warming up on it. It's like a glorified drum pad.
Yeah.
Like
that's a good way to put it. It's a glorified drum pad.
Like it's a drum kit drum pad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So anyway,
yeah. But yeah, we could go down that road.
But I noticed that at the church downtown, they've gone back to, and we were talking about that. We noticed that they've gone back to an acoustic kit with the cage.
Yeah.
But I don't know if something happened to the kit because they only,
I don't know,
have so much life to them. I mean, when we started playing on that kit, I think it was 2009, and then they upgraded it around 2017.
Yeah.
2016 maybe.
Well, that was a Yamaha kit, and Yamaha came out with new pads. James is a Yamaha artist, and he may know, but instead of like the hard rubber pads or the mesh heads like what Roland uses, which to me feels like you're playing on little tiny trampolines.
Great bounce.
Yeah, it's like both of those worlds are like so opposite of each other. Like the hard rubber pads, you start playing on them and they fatigue you because they don't have the give like a normal drum has, right? So you do feel some fatigue playing those. If you're not careful, you can actually injure yourself.
Wow.
But Yamaha came out with like some new gum rubber pad, and to me, those newer Yamaha digital pads felt closer to like playing on a real drum head. But I did spend hours and hours and hours like building sounds inside the computer of those drums to make them sound like what I wanted them to sound like.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I mean, that's a whole different animal, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole...
Thomas says my low quality $500 e-kit has its issues. One of them being the fact that the bell on the cymbals doesn't make sound at all. So that's a problem too. With, if you hit your cymbal, you're going to hear a sound, but if you hit an electric cymbal, I remember you had issues on one of those. It's like when you went to hit something, it's like, well, there's nothing there. Great.
So sometimes sometimes you'd hit a cymbal and it wouldn't make sound, and then you'd like a beat later, then it would make a sound.
Yeah.
Or something would vibrate through and mistrigger a drum or a cymbal.
Yeah.
So that's another like deep dive into the computer part of that, where you're setting sensitivity levels and
only the front half of the cymbals register noise. Oy.
Yeah. So that's like something in electronics are starting to break or not work or whatever. Yeah. I mean, you can only hit something so many times repeatedly with a stick before it stops working.
Right.
So I think that's true with electric drums or acoustic drums. That's definitely the case.
Well, I mean, you can break cymbals, right?
Yep. Well, so the moral of the story today is
ask ChatGPT for help.
Ask ChatGPT for help. Yeah.
Or Gemini. Just kidding.
Yeah. Greg says Elisis were making the metallized cymbal pads that felt like you were striking a real cymbal. Those were cool, but they were problematic in different ways. Yeah. I think now Drum Workshop DW had teamed up with Roland and put out a new DWE kit. I haven't even looked to see how much those cost, but I'm sure they're not giving those away. Nothing that DW makes is low dough, or Roland for that matter. So there's two high quality drum companies came together to make that kit. So
but yeah, because I think that Roland kit that you played at Dry Creek was like $5,000 or $6,000. If I remember right.
I think it was a little bit more than that. But yeah. You have anything else you want to add, producer?
I don't think so.
Guys, well, so
the important thing is don't get into a fight.
Yeah. Well, on my E-kit, only half of the cymbals has rubber on it. Oh, the back half of the cymbal. So were they a full disc circle, Thomas, or were they like kind of like a triangle with a round?
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
James says, I think Roland now owns DW, and I think, yes, I believe that is the case, that Roland bought DW. Now, some people will see a comment like that and immediately think, oh, DW's quality is going to go down. No, that's a like a merger of something. I don't think that Roland is changing how DW makes drums in any case. And I think was also true because DW had bought Gretsch drums.
Oh.
And then people were like, oh, Gretsch drums their quality is going to go down the tank now that DW owns it. They're helping with the financial deal.
Yeah. So, Roland, the Japanese music tech giant, officially acquired Drum Workshop in late 2022, making DW a wholly owned subsidiary to expand Roland's reach into the high-end acoustic drum market while leveraging DW's craftsmanship with Roland's electronic innovation. This means DW, along with its brands like Gretsch Drums, Latin Percussion, LP, and PDP, now operates under the Roland umbrella.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. And see, James and Slingerland too. James being a guy that's worked a lot of trade shows with his time with Vader drumsticks, and meeting so many different people from so many different manufacturers, has witnessed companies buying up other companies for years, but being under the umbrella of one company, right? Mm-hmm. Like Diodario, if that's how you can see it. I've always said Diodario. I've had people say Diodario or whatever, but
or Diodario.
Yeah, Diodario. They own Evans Drumheads. If I'm not mistaken, maybe ProMark Sticks too. I don't know. All these people own everybody else, so it's hard to keep track. But there you go. There you go. Let's wrap this up and grab some breakfast, Mrs. F.
Okay.
I think we should do that.
I have to go see the vocal therapist today.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
At 11. So yeah. So I for whatever reason my voice started giving me a lot of trouble in last December. Mm-hmm. So this has been going on for a year.
Wow.
And I don't know what prompted it. It was fine one gig, and then the next gig it wasn't fine. And it seemed like maybe I had like some stuff in my throat that was like causing it. So then I would take allergy medication trying to dry that up, and it never would really go away. And then each gig, like, it seemed like things were just getting worse and worse. And at one point over the summer, I felt like I sounded like a boy going through puberty. Oh, no. Like, what is happening to my voice? This is awful. So I got scoped the end of October, and he told me, thankfully I don't have vocal nodules, which I didn't think I did because I did have that in 2010. I had one, and I couldn't sing it was supposed to be 6 months, but I did, because I was a good girl and did all the things they told me to, they let me sing after 5 months. But I had to go through vocal therapy and relearn how to speak, relearn how to sing.
Yeah.
All of that. It was a nightmare. It was hard to go through, but and so then while all of this was going on, then I have that in the back of my mind, like worried that I'm not gonna be able to sing, or that they're gonna tell me you can't sing for 6 months, and that would be awful.
I don't think that's going to be the case today.
No, I don't think so. But
Thomas says you probably messed up your voice by screaming at Fred for being
probably.
a knucklehead.
No, what the doctor did see was like some inflammation in, I think they call it the arytenoids, which is like behind the vocal cords. And he says that is typical of silent reflux, which, yeah, I would say I don't have reflux. And they're like, well, there's this thing called silent reflux where you don't even know you have it. And so, I don't know, like, if this is something that's happening throughout the day or just when I'm sleeping or what, but like I have to make all sorts of adjustments on like what kind of foods I can eat, when I can eat, when, like, in relationship to going to bed, all that. But so I see the vocal therapist. It's taken months to get in to see her because she's very popular.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what she'll help me with. She doesn't think she's going to have to see me more than a couple visits. So, yeah.
Well, I think you're going to be fine. I think you'll get through this and be back to normal.
Hopefully. I've been having to take this Prilosec crap for 8 weeks now. Or longer, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many weeks it's been since they made me start taking it. It was the end of October. And yeah, I don't like taking medications. And so that's been, and I haven't missed one day of taking that stuff. Every morning I get up and then I have to wait half an hour to 45 minutes before I can even like have a cup of coffee or anything like that, to make sure that the medicine works.
You need to read first of all, you need to read Thomas's comment and then James's comment.
Just manifest positive vibes. Very good news. Yay! Screaming at Fred for being a knucklehead. Yeah. I think that type of reflex is cured by buying your husband a new cymbal.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, and so I think like there's been like sound issues that I've had specifically, that I haven't been able to fix. I'm not quite sure how to fix them like on stage. And so what happens is the drums are coming into my microphone, and they're not in my ear mix at all. I have the drums completely off.
Yeah.
And so they'll come into my ear mix just through my microphone, but I have to have my vocal level high enough that I hear myself the way I want to hear myself and over all the music. And so I have this nice, lovely mix, but then the drums are, so it's like the more I turn up my voice, the louder the drums are. And so then I'm having to basically sing over the drums. And so I'm making the problem worse.
Well,
because of these sound issues.
I think that is, I think no matter what band you're in, you have to have a great understanding and relationship with the sound man. And it sounds like if you're singing into your mic and all the drums are coming in at the same time, there's one easy way around that is to put a gate. So that microphone is going to be activated when you're actually singing, and when you have it away from your face, that it's not picking up any ambient sound on the stage, which would be like the drums.
Well, so Brian doesn't have control of our ears. That was like, it got separated, and he had suggested that. And I brought it up and Jeff didn't think it would work. And so we haven't actually tried it. Like, it would be nice to try it like at a rehearsal or something, just to see if it would work.
Of the 30 plus years I've been playing music, you're the only one that I know that fights sound issues.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
so
hopefully I can get that cleared up.
Yeah, that has to be solved.
The thing was, I had gotten new monitors, in-ear monitors, the same day that we got new microphones, and it was at a knitting factory gig. And so when the sound changed in my ears, I just thought it was from the ears and not from the microphone, because I didn't have that problem before. And so, or at least not to that extent if I was.
Yeah. Well, I think the bottom line is that
but I know Kelly can hear it too. Kelly will say like, yeah, like the drums are like coming through your mic. And
with all the equipment that you guys have, this should be a very simple and easy solution.
I would hope.
It's but I think this is now this could be a different show, but you have to have an attitude of a willingness to problem solve and a patience to do it, and that you got to be able to protect your singer's voice. Mm-hmm. And like for me with Cliff has amazing ears and hears everything, like that, like in chord structure and things like that, and we'll hear different things. But a lot of places we play, there's little room, so my drums and his back are really close together, and then the level that my cymbals are at physically are close to ear level with Cliff, and not only that, but the cymbals will bleed into the frontline mics really easily. And so a simple solution was to get these 22-inch diameter clear plastic baffles that go right in front of the cymbals, and so that sound is blocked right there, and it's way easier on Cliff's ears. It's way less bleed of cymbals into the microphones, and it's a lot cleaner sound on stage for everybody. So, but at any rate, we drifted far away from how do you tell your wife you need more gear.
Well, it used to be that the thought was I need better in-ears, but I don't think the in-ears are the problem.
Nope, you just need a better mix in your ears. You gotta solve that, and so that you don't have these vocal problems. Yeah, and that should be a simple solution. I don't think that's a thing that has to be analyzed too heavily. It's just like, oh, well, let's put this gate on there and be done with it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has a great Christmas Eve and Christmas, and next week we'll talk about New Year's resolutions, which is a common topic as we're heading into the new year. And then my first guest of next year will be Mr. Rob Ridgway from 12th Fret Music.
Yay.
Yeah. And then Mary, you can ask him about like the Les Paul that awaits you in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Do we get a Les Paul custom or a Les Paul standard?
I don't know,
but we got to have one. I say we, meaning you.
And a Telly.
And a Telly. What? And a Gretsch.
Well, those two
Let's
first.
see. Greg said a Paul, a Telly, a Gretsch,
and then acoustics.
And a couple acoustics, which you got the acoustics.
Yeah.
You got that all unlocked. Okay. So I guess you need 3 electric guitars. 3?
I mean, I'd like to have a regular bass too.
Oh, yeah. You need an electric bass. We got to do some shopping. We got to do some money saving.
Oh, speaking of money.
Yes.
Nobody won the Powerball last night, so we're up to $1.7 billion.
Let's run down the street.
So,
grab some
I've got an app for it. I can just do, unless you want to get a scratch it, but I've got the Powerball app on my phone. I can just pick my numbers. And,
whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
1.7. That.
Merry Christmas. Hey, you know what?
Buy my gear, and I wouldn't even have to ask my husband.
What?
Hey, I'm running down to 12th Fret, and I'm getting some guitars because I won $1.7 billion yesterday.
I'm going to go down to 12th Fret and just buy the store.
Ooh.
Greg says there's a Paul in fuchsia on sale at Z Sounds at the moment.
Wow.
So there you go, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us through all of our silliness. It's been fun. This hat goes back in the closet until next Christmas. I need to find a New Year's hat. Something New Year's-y.
You need your Drummergy hat.
I need my Drummergy. That's what I'll wear.
Drummergy.
I got the Fred Rock one right here.
There you go.
Yep. Guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week.
All right.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.